Yeah, we're gonna jump straight to it. So the sheet I'm showing now is the sheet I was tracing a lot, and all of it comes from Taco. I have everything linked in the description, but if you want this sheet that I'm showing, you're gonna have to join my Discord and ask me about it. So yeah, I drew from this sheet and I traced only side views for my first 1000. My second 1000 will be 3/4 view. It really was supposed to be front, side, back, and for each of them it would be 1000, but the overall goal is to achieve 18,000 drawings, and that's gonna vary between like body types and age and whatnot. Okay, so while doing the 1000 drawings, I came up with 4 steps. First though, you have to throw out the obvious, which is fast trial and error. You need to see where you're at in the moment, and then you can go on to these 4 steps. So the 4 steps are slow observation, fast application, slow correction, fast application. So that's your loop right there. You want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to 1. That's going to be your game plan. Each one of these things have their own rules, but let's just start with slow observation. So what slow observation means to me is a slow buildup. So you're going to see me take the basic head shape, and just do that from imagination. So I'm just tracing it, and then from imagination, and then I would build on top of that. So now I would draw the basic head shape plus this line, and right now it's the line that's indicating the jawline, and then I would just keep on adding and slowly building up to the full character. Okay, even though the first rule has imagination drawing itself, the second one, the fast application that comes after that, is just forcing it even more. So you're just gonna draw this even more from imagination. Okay, and this next rule, the slow correction, is just to keep yourself on track. What slow correction means to me is how you measure the thing you're studying, and there's so many ways you can measure. Okay, so just to save some time on the measuring tools, because there's so many, I'm just gonna fly through them. So 1, whatever you draw, you can just take that same drawing and hover it over the reference so you can see how accurate you are. 2, we can do center lines, so we can just take our shape and do like crosshairs to find the center. We can use apex points to find the highest peaks and valleys. So then we can use shapes within shapes so we can guide our judgment better. We can see the height and width more naturally. We can use the inner shapes, and inner shapes are just the shapes themselves. We can isolate it by the lines, and there's only 3 lines. There's the S, the C, and the straight. We can use angles to see if a shape is more obtuse or acute. And then we can compare existing lines and shapes so we can judge that by the distance we need to give something. So we have a reference point to go off of. Okay, and then after slow correction comes fast application again, basically just doing even more from imagination. So throughout all these steps, you'll make your own rules for yourself, but there is one rule that's the most important of them all. The rule is don't break the rule. So when you create a measuring tool guide, don't ignore that. Try to pressure yourself to focus on what you have learned. Because for example, I did a oval shaped head on the left, and if I just completely ignore what I did, I will end up with a result that I didn't like. So the one on the left looks nothing like the one on the right, and that separates the difference between the progress that you're gonna make, and that's gonna force you to keep yourself on track. So yeah, this is my 1000 drawings. Like I said, I only did side view. I'm on my way to 2000, so my second 1000 will be 3/4 view, and it's gonna keep going to 18,000. I just gotta find things that I want to do. It'll be like animals, younger people, older people, trying to get different variations, and I'm gonna use this approach for everything. I try to explain myself better when I refine my ideas, but as soon as you are on this track of like tracing and doing from imagination, you kind of break the things that people are scared of. Like, I hate drawing, I hate studying, so this is like mindless. You also breaking it down into smaller segments thanks to the slow observation, which is basically slow build up. And then the other worry is as you're doing something, you're scared that you're not going to retain the information, or you feel like you're not going to learn anything from this. And that's why slow correction plays a big part in this, because it really does force you to keep yourself on track. And when you're really judging your own work, that's how you progress. It's forcing you to stay consistent. That's it. But yeah, that was my method. I'll share when I get to 2,000. Right now I'm sitting at 1,400. I'll probably hit 2,000 by the end of next week because I'm taking a small break because I'm doing another thing, which is 1,000 level designs. Right now I'm a little sick. But yeah, thank you for watching. Peace.